Hi, everybody. We're Jess and Kristen. Welcome to Situations, the Poop Podcast.
Where we talk about all things poop related, from your crappiest stories to your most pressing questions.
So come listen, because we have something for every asshole.
She was so annoyed that she went early that morning, early Saturday morning, with feces and urine, like in a cup, and was smearing it all over like the park benches and tables.
A 24-year-old patient came in with a World War I artillery in their butt.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Situations, the podcast where we talk about all things poop. I'm here with my sister Jess, and we are going to talk about poop in the news today. I feel like there's a lot of stories that come up, some of them a little more disgusting than others, some of them a little more funny than others. But we found a couple that we want to talk with you guys about, and I think we're going to have Jess go first today. So Jess, you want to take the reins on this one?
Sure thing. I think the story I'm going to start with is definitely on the more disgusting side. And to be fair, this actually started on social media first, but it became such a big deal that the news picked it up. And my flabbers have been gasted when I saw this. And I think this woman was, because with content creators, you never know if they're doing stuff to rage bait you or to just kind of get attention. But it sounds like this woman really meant what she said. So I'm sure some people probably saw this or heard about it. Kristen, I don't know if you've seen it, but this woman's video goes viral because her travel hack is to clean her underwear or your underwear in the coffee pot at hotels. So,
yeah, I was instantly mortified.
Yeah. So People magazine picked this up and did a whole article about it. Her name was Tara Woodcox. She's an influencer, fitness coach. And yeah, she has this whole video where she even demonstrates it. You got your tiny little, like, I don't know if sometimes they're Keurig. I don't think they're Keurig brands in most hotels. But yeah, she was like, if you're in a pinch and you want to save money, take your underwear, ball it up, and you just put it where you would put the coffee filter or the coffee pod. And you just let the hot water run through the machine through it. So it would be one thing if she was like, stick it in a coffee cup, right? This almost makes sense. If you were to stick it in a coffee cup, put it under the machine, and then run hot water through, I could see that. Like, okay, now you're just dirtying the cup.
Let it sit
not the machine.
In hot water.
Her suggestion, her advice is to put it in the machine where you put the coffee pod or the filter and let the machine just like run hot water through it. Yeah.
Okay, do we think she's serious? Or was this like was it meant to be funny? Because there are a lot of people out there with travel hacks, and I'm wondering, was it supposed to be comedic?
Well, so I don't know. And I feel like if it did.
And just everyone took it way too seriously?
So apparently she refused to comment when People magazine reached out to her. And I don't know if she was avoiding them to try to fuel the rage and like get more notoriety, but the fact that she refused to comment or anything makes me think that she really does mean this. And I don't know if she was embarrassed.
Yeah.
So she posted it originally in November on TikTok. And she says it's a cool travel hack, coolest trick. And also that you can bring less underwear now. So yeah, she quotes.
But the thing is, she doesn't even use soap. It's just hot water.
Well,
and it's not even like, is it even boiling hot water? And it's like, it's not like you said, it's not like it's sitting in hot water for a while to like sanitize it. It's just briefly running over the underwear. And now you've literally ruined the hotel coffee pot.
So her video, she does say, you close it, you press brew, and it puts scorching hot water through it. So I do think it's very hot. And I think that's her point, is like you've sanitized it with heat. Or maybe, who knows, maybe she just has some skid marks that she needs to get out.
Okay, well, especially as a girl, there's a lot of clothing we have that is like hand wash only.
Mm-hmm.
Has she not like hand washed any of her stuff at home in the sink?
Right.
Like they have multiple types of soap. Why don't you just hand wash it in the sink or in the bathtub?
So apparently So I think her thing was that because the sink isn't hot enough, and I think that her point was the scorching hot water from the coffee maker. But yeah, I I remember in college there was a time I was doing like most of my laundry in the sink because I didn't want to walk to a laundromat like in the winter.
Yeah.
The video really went viral in about February of this year. So she did respond on Instagram and said, "I've never actually done that, but it's your response is really funny, you guys." She's heard the tip from a friend before. I did see that the hotel that she had made the video in made a point to go through and change, like they replaced all of their coffee machines in their
I would hope
hotel.
so. Well, because that is like you've released that to the internet. You've released
Yes.
that to everyone in the world, and that could be really detrimental for that hotel. Like they could
Mm-hmm.
lose business because, oh, I spit. They could lose business because now they think that they're like, I don't want to get the room with the freaking underwear ladies coffee machine, or they're like never going to use it. Like, I wonder if that made their sales go down.
Well, so that's one thing, but I think the worst part is when in releasing this into the universe is that there are people who are going to try this. So you have this one documented space of this woman doing it, and you can kind of pinpoint her, but now you have thousands of travel people not filming their experience being,
God.
yeah, I saw this travel hack once on TikTok. I'm gonna go wash my underwear in the coffee pot. So now you just don't know. You just never know if the coffee pot in your hotel room was used to clean underwear. Because why would they bother telling anyone, right? They're not gonna tell the front desk, like, hey, thanks for the coffee pot. I washed my
Oh
underwear in
God.
that. So now it's like never safe again. You can never have
Well,
hotel coffee.
this also opens up an entire can of worms for other things that probably happen in hotel rooms that you don't know about, or like the level of
Mm,
cleanliness, or okay, you know what? This is kind of on a side tangent, but it always freaks me out. This is like slight, not, I guess it's not, it's kind of morbid, but I get really freaked out about not so much the heights when you get a high up room, but the railing itself. Like when I go to a
mm,
hotel, I have this thing where I won't like lean on the railing to look over because, especially here in Hawaii, nothing I have not heard anything in the news, but out here, everything is just like it gets brittle and corroded really quickly because it's just
mm.
salt in the air and the
Humid.
humidity. Yeah, and a lot of things. And I just get so freaked out. I'm like, how often are those things actually checked? You know, like I just get this like really weird feeling about leaning on a railing in a hotel because I'm like, I don't know how safe that thing actually is.
Mm-hmm.
And now I feel that way about the coffee pot. I'm like, I
It's not
can't use
safe
that
anymore.
anymore.
You can never
God.
trust it. Yeah. One person
It's
had to
just
just ruin it
bad.
for the rest of us.
It's just wild to me that she didn't like that didn't click before she was like, I am gonna show the world this crazy good hack.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah. Is this a good idea? Should I do this? I feel
should I
like
tell the
people are
world?
losing that sense in the world today, is like the forethought before they act or speak.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I'm not really great at that either, if I'm being honest. What happened to her? Has anything happened to her?
That's a great question. I don't think so. The People article doesn't say anything.
Let's do a quick search. I want to find out about this chick and see.
Yeah, so the People magazine article is written by Luke Chinman. That was back in February 24. Let's see if we can look her up.
Like, I'd have to say there must have been a lot of backlash. So I'm curious if she, like, because if she was an influencer, she must have had a lot of pull. Like, has she lost a lot of her followers? Like, what have
Ooh,
the,
Fox News. Here we go. A TikTok influencer is responding to outrage online after seemingly recommending that her fellow users use a hotel coffee maker to wash their underwear while on the road. She has 700,000 followers. She never actually washed underwear herself in the coffee maker.
I mean, she was caught on video doing it. Not even caught. She willingly washed her underwear. Didn't she put a pair of underwear in the coffee
I
maker?
think she did, but it could have been cut where like maybe it was just off camera like this, or she didn't actually follow, maybe she didn't follow through.
If we can find the video of her doing
Um,
it, maybe we should look at that too after we do this.
Influencer Tara Woodcock says she's actually never used a hotel coffee maker, yes, a hotel coffee maker, to wash her underwear. After posting this self-described travel hack video in November 2025, in which she alleges one can wash their underwear in a coffee maker at a hotel when in a pinch, Tara Woodcock is now saying she's never actually done that, wash her underwear in a coffee maker. But she did learn that alleged hack from a friend who happens to be a flight attendant. Tara saying in a video shared on TikTok February 23rd, "I've never actually done that, but it's really funny, you guys."
It was more like, hey, this is why I wouldn't use coffee pot. I learned that from a friend that was a flight attendant, and I was like, ew. But I've never been into those Keurigs anyway. Not even because of the underwear, just because they're dirty, and I don't think the hotel cleans them. I don't even want to tell you guys that it wasn't real, because you guys are having way too much fun thinking it's real. And it's whatever. It's better just think what you guys want to think.
And naturally, the world has many thoughts, mostly negative, with some pointing out that if the goal was to stop using hotel coffee makers, you just did it.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, even like it's just crazy that somebody thinks like how do you not see that as disgusting? Like that water's gonna go through the same area that your dirty underwear went through to make a cup of coffee.
Yep.
Okay, I did find this one thing. I don't know if it's true because it says it's unverified, but it does say an Ohio influencer is facing widespread backlash and an unverified claim of $1 million lawsuit
Ooh.
after her resurfaced hotel video reignited online outrage. So I think that's probably because the hotel probably lost like a bunch of business, and she might be. Several online accounts claim that travelers who recognized the property from her video demanded compensation, leading to reports of a potential lawsuit. So I don't know.
could
It
see
doesn't,
that.
it says unverified, so we don't know if it's true or not, but it doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
wild.
So that is my first news story. What a great way to kick this off.
It's funny how you remember things too, because I could have sworn I saw the video a while ago, and I could have sworn that she actually physically bunched up her underwear and put it in there. But it's funny how your brain just like makes that image, and then that's what you run with, you know?
Yeah.
Wild. So, okay, that was great. That was a great way to kick it off. Absolutely disgusting. Good morning, everybody. Don't use hotel coffee machine. And I'm so sorry if you're at a hotel right now listening to this and you're drinking your cup of coffee from your Keurig. I apologize, but maybe dump it out.
Mm. Yep.
Okay, so mine, I'm pretty sure a lot of people have probably heard about this, but Jess, you said you didn't, which I was kind of surprised about. But I want to talk about the Poop Cruise.
Yes.
So it's a Carnival cruise that actually Netflix, I don't know if Netflix is just hosting the documentary on their platform or if they made the documentary, but you can watch it on Netflix. It's literally called Trainwreck Poop Cruise.
Okay.
The actual documentary was posted like almost a year ago, I think. It was 2013. So it was a long time ago. So I don't know if, like, I'm sure there's a handful of people out there that probably heard it. And then the people who haven't, I'm assuming they, probably just didn't see or watch the documentary. But they might have at least like skimmed over it. But basically, this Carnival cruise line, it was the Carnival ship, the boat's name was Triumph. It has since been remade and renamed, which is probably a good thing, but I'm about to bust that. Everyone's going to know which ship was the poop ship. But it initially tried to set sail, or it did set sail on February 6th or 7th in 2013. It was hard to verify that. And basically, it was going along well. It was supposed to go, it was a 4-day cruise, round cruise, and it went from Galveston, Texas to Cozumel, Mexico. So they left Texas, everything was going fine. They made it basically all the way into the trip, and they turned around and were headed back to Galveston, Texas. And on the way back, I think it was 4 days into the cruise, passengers woke up like in the middle of the night with these like blaring alarms saying there was like a fire on the ship.
Oh, geez.
Everybody comes out on deck, and nobody really knew what was happening at that time. Everyone's freaking out. They're like, do we have to jump ship? What's going on? Turns out it was basically an electrical room fire. So like, on the cruise ships, there's that like the big thing in the back that like stands up I guess a lot of the electrical stuff is in there in that like
Oh,
giant
okay.
thing that like sticks up from the boat. So basically the ship is dead in the water. Like they have
Mm.
no electricity. They can't drive the boat. They can't,
Oh
there's
my
no lights. There's
God.
nothing. Like no refrigeration. The boat is completely dead. There's no electricity whatsoever. So now they're like, okay, well, we're not going to sink. The fire's out. It's just that we have no mechanical use of this boat whatsoever.
Everybody start
It's
rowing.
filled,
Grab a paddle.
yes. It's got 4,000 passengers on it. There's, at this point, the fridges are dead. So they're like, okay, well, we have basically a certain amount of time to like use the food that's in there. And then after that, we really can't use it because of like food safety
Yeah, can't
purposes.
even like try to make it stretch because of, yeah.
Yeah, they can't feed these passengers. So they're like, okay, so now they're trying to figure out what the hell to do. So they obviously reach out to the Coast Guard. I think the plan was to get a tugboat to come out to then tow them back to Galveston, Texas. That whole thing is taking forever. So in the meantime, they're trying to figure out how to make things work. The initial day or two was not horrible, but the toilets also run off of the electricity, so they won't flush. So they're like, okay, well, what do we do? People are going to have to go to the bathroom. So the staff is like, okay, this is what we're going to do. You pee in the shower, like you just drain, goes down.
No shame.
And
Everyone
then,
do it, please.
yep, just pee in the shower. But then they handed out these red biohazard bags to every room, and those were meant for pooping. So you were supposed to poop in these red biohazard bags and then leave them outside your door, and the staff was picking them up. So that's not great. And there was a lot of people who were like, fuck that. And mind you, the rooms, like if you don't have a balcony room, there's no window, like there's no porthole, so it's pitch black in your room. You can't see anything.
I didn't
So
think of that.
yeah, so some people have little portholes, which if it's night out, it's going to be pitch black. You can't see. If it's day, you might get a little bit of light. Some people have balconies a little bit better, but the people who don't, you can't see shit.
And you can't risk using your phone flashlight because you won't be able to charge it once it's dead.
Yeah, people like you couldn't see anything in some of these rooms. So people started using their life preservers and splashing water on them because as soon as I think plain ones work the same way. They have a light on them that as soon as they're water activated, they
Oh,
start
okay.
flashing.
That's
So
smart.
they were using those in the bathroom to be able to see. But again, it's like a flashing light. So it's like you're going in and out from like pitch black to light, pitch black to light. And it's like red light, so it's not even super like bright. So people are trying to aim for these poop bags in the dark. Like that's not even where it gets really bad. But
I guess I didn't think about the mechanics of like how you would do it. I guess myself, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna open it and just like hold it against my butt. But I guess yeah, if some people probably don't think of that, or maybe it's not that easy, and they just what do they just like put it down on the ground and yeah, just like hover over it, like
yeah, I don't know. Or like your friend, I don't know, is gonna hold it for you. We're not sure how that's gonna work.
right?
So the food situation, I think basically, that's kind of where we're at. This is what these people are having to deal with. There's no entertainment. I mean, I think it was, maybe Titanic style where they had a live band that was probably like playing music for them. But I mean, they had the pool. So I don't remember if people could get in. I think people could get in the pool, but it was just not good. 4,000 passengers. There's literally no electricity. The boat can't move.
Can you imagine too being the staff? Like you sign up to work on a boat. I've worked on boats for a long time. I know a lot of people work on boats. It is a very fun job, but then to hear like your job now is to walk the hallways and carry 4,000 bags of shit. Just make
Yeah.
sure you're
And imagine how bad it
collecting-
smelled. So
And if
this
people
is
are even
first.
good, like I'm sure it wasn't perfectly contained in the bag, and maybe there's
Yeah.
some smear. Oh God.
It gets worse. It gets worse. This isn't even the worst part of it. It
How
gets
far
much,
in
much
are we
worse.
like into the
About 4
breakdown?
days. Four
in-
4 to 5. Basically 4 into the breakdown. I think we're about like a day in.
Okay.
Because they had to figure this out pretty quick because the toilets aren't going to flush. So they're
course.
like, we need to figure out like how are these people going to do this? So basically we're like on day 1 essentially. And it continues. So, but one of the things is there are some people that didn't want to use the bags. Like they're like, absolutely not. Like I'm not pooping in this bag. So people just pooped in the toilet, even though it couldn't flush. So now you have people just pooping on top of poop on top of poop, and then some, mixed with pee. So it's not great. It's just getting worse. People's rooms are smelling. There's no air conditioning. So
Hold that thought. Just for people listening, you should go check out episodes 2 and 3 where we interview some ship engineers about how toilet systems work on ships, and this also have shared stories where they had to deal with people who just poop on piles of poop and like don't tell them that the toilet was clogged. So if you're listening to this and you're curious, go check out episodes 2 and 3. Sorry, continue.
Okay, so it looks like it happened like pretty instantaneously. Okay, so basically, because you couldn't flush the toilets and all of these, like, I'm not even 100% sure how this ended up happening. I'm pretty sure it's just because people were like peeing, like, so many people were like peeing and pooping into the toilets that they just started to, like, somehow the sewage system like overflowed. So one day they start walking around the ship and all of a sudden it's just like their feet are like squish, 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 like there's just water everywhere and it's essentially poop water. So this reminds me of that Doug and Ted episode because he referenced a boat, didn't he? About one overflowing and they like, remember was it you both were talking about poop?
Yes, poopageddon.
Yes. So basically that's what's happening here. Like there's stuff everywhere. But at this point, too, there was no air conditioning, right? So people's rooms, especially the people on lower levels, were like super hot. So people were actually dragging their mattresses to the deck. So people were sleeping all over the main deck.
Yeah, I guess, like you said, no air conditioning, no window. Like, yeah, it gets stuffy.
Yeah. Some rooms were getting super hot. I don't know if people who had balconies were staying in their rooms, but it made it sound like nearly all 4,000 passengers were dragging their mattresses up onto the main deck and were just sleeping like nuts to butts on mattresses on the deck. And then so there's like a little confusion on like the exact timeline of this. So we can play a quick video too from Netflix or like a quick trailer to kind of get an idea of, the progression of events. But people were saying that after they have dragged their mattresses up, like people even witnessed people having sex on deck. Like it was just balls to the walls at that point. Like people were like, fuck it.
Hedonistic craziness.
But I think this might have happened after. So we're like maybe 2 days into this poop cruise and it's not getting any better. Like they still don't have a tugboat to come bring them back to Galveston, Texas. They're still just like floating out in the ocean. They have no electricity. Food's becoming scarce at this point, and now they're like starting to freak out. Like we need to feed these people. And I think they scrambled together, like some very basic stuff that wasn't refrigerated to feed people. And then I think it was like one of the second to last days. This might have also been what initially led to the overflow of toilets is they decided to just basically open up the bars. Like they were like, fuck it. At this point, let's just let people drink. So
they're already letting loose. We can't control them.
Yeah, they're like, fuck it. Like this is
it.
so bad. We don't know what to do. Like let's just give these people some alcohol. They basically gave like a free for all for alcohol. And when you do that, you have to pee nonstop when you're drinking. And then obviously you're not really thinking. You like don't give a shit, no pun intended, about what you're doing when you go to the bathroom. Like if you are supposed to poop in this little bag, you're probably just like sitting on the toilet like, screw it. I'm just gonna poop in the toilet. And basically all of this stuff was just like a giant ball of garbage. And poop's overflowing. People are drunk. People are having sex on the deck. There's like no food. There's no electricity.
This is
I know.
absolutely insane.
It's bad. And then another Carnival cruise ship like drives by them basically in the ocean. And people on their boat were like screaming and like waving for help. And the people on the other ship were like having a grand old time with electricity and they're like waving, smiling.
Yeah, oh, look, everyone's waving at us. How fun.
And they just like kept on driving. And people on the boat were like, you've got to be kidding me. But what are you going to do? They have 4,000 passengers.
Shouldn't I feel like the radio should be on a battery backup system. Like they should have been able to communicate with the other ship.
But I think so, because they were able to call. But the guests don't know. You know what I mean?
True,
like maybe word could have spread a little bit, but like yeah, the captain knows, but the main like the
Oh,
guests on the ship aren't super aware. So they're like, yeah, we're on vacation. We're drinking. We're having so much fun. And this other ship is like, save us. They just
wow.
waving as they go by. But they couldn't really stop because there's 4,000 passengers. They have to worry about theirs. I don't remember if they were able to get like
Well, that's
some
what I
food,
find
some
so
food from the boat.
interesting.
I don't think there was much help, if any at all. Like I think
Because
this
this
boat just
is,
gone by.
from my understanding, like this is a Mayday situation. Like Mayday,
Yeah, it's
Mayday,
pretty
like
bad.
come, like we need help. We're not sinking, but we might as well be. And so a few mild tangents about this. One, I have been part of a project where a ship ran aground in the Northwest Passage, which, for people who don't know, the Northwest Passage is the channel of water that goes basically through Canada and the Arctic Circle. It goes across Canada, and like expeditions throughout the centuries have gotten lost up there and trapped up there and died up there because it's kind of hard to navigate because of sea ice. The sea ice freezes and it freezes solid, and your ship could get stuck, or, there's even to this day, there's a lot of spaces that aren't fully charted properly because they haven't been able to get mapping equipment to those spaces. So I was part of a project where a ship, like day one, they like everyone arrived, they're setting up equipment, and they ran aground because they had to like navigate around the sea ice, and they went to an uncharted area and they hit, shallow land. So, right, this is the Arctic. It's not the most, what I would assume, accessible, and another cruise ship came by, picked them up. They had to like disembark, get on the other ship, and like immediately go home. And that was like compared to the story you're telling me, that was a very rapid response. It was like it all happened on day one. They sent out the call for help. Someone was coming by. They picked him up. Like everyone had to turn around, including that other cruise ship. They're like, sorry guys, we have to pick up this group of people and bring them back to land. I don't know what that other cruise ship did for their guests to compensate for this, but like it was handled. And like, yep, okay, we're gonna pick up these other people. We have to take this whole ship's worth of people on our ship, which is already full, and deliver them. So I'm really surprised. I mean, the Gulf is huge, but like between the oil rigs and the oil ships out there and the other cruise ships passing by, I'm really surprised that they didn't stop, or that someone else, like, why are they waiting specifically days for a tugboat? Like when, like, I feel like another
I'm sure they
ship
talk
should have
about it.
showed up and like picked them
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, I'm sure it talks a little bit about that probably in the documentary. I don't remember at this point. I watched it a while ago, but yeah, they basically just kept waiting for this tugboat. But the other thing was they were drifting. They had no
Yeah.
power. So the boat is like I think that was part of the problem
Okay.
is they had their coordinates initially and then they were like, okay, we're coming to get you. But then they kept drifting. So then they're like trying to find them as they're drifting. It was like a whole thing.
Yeah.
So basically they set sail on like the 6th or the 7th of February. February 10th, everything loses power. Over the next 4 days, it just gets progressively worse with poop overflowing, people just doing like just straight debauchery. Like there's just like, sex on board and like sex on the main deck in front of everybody. And people are dragging their mattresses up there. Like there's next to no food. So I think like the second to last day or something, or it may have been the last day, they basically were like, fuck it, we're just opening up the booze. So they open up the booze and it just gets progressively worse. But it leaked to the news because they were in the middle of the Gulf, right? So not a lot of people have service. But as they drifted, they would like randomly come into areas with service and people would reach out to their family members and be like, this is what's going on. So then the cruise liner is like freaking out because they're like, okay, we have to get ahead of this because this is going to be really bad for us as a company. We don't know what guests are going to say. Like, we got to figure out how we're going to handle this PR. So they're, on the other end are doing their like whole thing to figure out how they're going to handle this as people get back, how they're trying to contain the information now that's getting out while they really have no control over what's going on in the boat. And then I think February they make it. So basically the tugboat gets to them. They drag them back to shore, but because they've drifted so far, they make land in Alabama. instead of Galveston, Texas. Like that's how far they drifted. And that, I think they got back to land on February 14th. It was supposed to be a 4-day trip, ended up being 8 days, and 4 days of it, they were basically dealing with this like disaster. One of the guests described seeing what he called poop lasagna in one bathroom, where it was just piles of poop layered with toilet paper and more poop. Like at this point.
I love that. That's a great, amazing. Keep going.
Yeah. So basically, yeah, it's bad. If anybody wants to watch it, you should definitely watch the documentary. It's super intriguing in the way they, they did it really well, and it's interesting, and you just are so captivated by like the disaster that happens on board this cruise ship. But when they make it back to land, Carnival was actually, like I said, was so worried about the backlash that was going to happen with what people and guests were going to say with how everything went down. But they were actually super nice. So people landed and they were so grateful that the staff did everything that they could on the boat. They were like, honestly, we knew it wasn't their fault. Like we're did just so everything desperate they possibly could to make it okay for us. And they handled it so well that they actually had a lot of positive feedback. Come out of it. Like they were so worried about negativity, and it actually wasn't bad. Like people were actually saying really nice things. But obviously, like some backlash came because I guess the cruise ship set sail knowing that it had a propensity, is that the right word? For
a propensity?
A propensity for fire. So they kind of knew that this was a potential, and they let it set sail anyways instead of having it fixed before it set sail. So I think there was a little backlash because of that, but Carnival ended up spending $115 million rehabbing this one vessel. And now it sets sails under the name Sunrise. Carnival Sunrise.
Carnival Sunrise. So keep an eye out, people.
So it initially was Carnival Triumph. And after they remodeled it and did all the stuff, now it's Carnival Sunrise.
Yeah, you gotta wash off that curse.
Yep. And they did end up doing, after this incident too, they conducted a fleet-wide upgrade of all engine rooms on all Carnival ships. And all the passengers of this poop cruise received a $500 refund, transportation reimbursements, and a voucher for a free cruise.
There you go. I was like, $500 doesn't seem like enough, but a free cruise.
After being on this poop cruise, I don't know if I'd want to go on another cruise.
Ever want to go again? I wonder if you can transfer the voucher. Like, I'm not going to go again, but I'm going to give this free cruise to my sister or whatever. Jesus Christ.
Let's see. I want to see if I can find a quick video of maybe like the trailer.
This is insane. And I can imagine people are probably exhausted too and just so desperate. Like, it's funny because I'm definitely one of those people where I will get angry if like a travel thing is problematic. I cannot be nice. I think I might pull a Karen or two. It's great that everyone understood and everyone got that they were trying as hard as they could. Because also, right, you as a guest is one thing and you're struggling and you're expecting to relax, but the crew, right? The crew was probably just like working nonstop around the clock, exhausted to try to make this work.
Yep. Okay, we ready for this?
Yeah.
Good afternoon. Welcome on board the beautiful Triumph.
We just love going on cruises. The food, the pool, the water slide. I mean, what more could you ask?
This was absolutely the bachelorette party that I had dreamed of.
We were like, this is awesome. And then the lights go out.
Attention. Empathy.
Oh my God.
Empathy.
More than 4,000 people are stuck on a cruise ship that is dead in the water.
That's when all of us were like, what the
When power goes, that's it. Everything's out.
It was immediately crisis mode.
The toilets weren't working. Well, we can do a number one in the shower. And then...
I'm telling you, it got bad fast.
I would never expect having to poop in a red bag. Oh, no. Oh, no.
No. Suddenly, everyone's out for themselves.
You could hear the panic. We were starting to smell urine.
Oh, my God.
It was terrifying.
We had camera people, crews on boats, a helicopter up in the air.
Fights broke out.
Oh. The ship is on fire.
What the is happening on this cruise ship?
It's like shantytown.
It's like something that came out of a nightmare movie.
The snowball has started to roll, and there's no stopping it.
My God, it's chaos.
Gonna have to watch that.
Crazy. It's good. It's a good documentary, but it is like, oh my Atlanta. And yeah, they're basically walking around in poop water. Like it was just, it's
And
a
you're in
crazy story.
flip-flops too. I'm sure no one brought like any kind of rain boot because
Yeah, I'd be curious to know if anybody got sick.
Oh, they must.
Because there's like, and think about it, like that's in the air now. Like poop particles are just floating in the air. So any food that was available is now probably covered in poo in some way, shape, or form. Like hand washing. Like I want to know if anybody, if there was any after like everyone disembarked. I wonder if there was any incidents of people like ending up in the hospital because of like freaking, I don't know, poop related illness. Yeah, E. coli, like salmonella.
4,000 people, you're definitely going to get those people who don't wash their hands in general when they go to the bathroom. And now you've got this really exaggerated situation. And I had seen this like video where a group of researchers did like a blacklight test and just to see how things spread. So they like sprayed this one guy's hand with this blacklight thing, and then they let everyone into the room and like did a buffet basically. And at the end of the buffet, they like turned off the lights and turned on the black lights.
Oh no.
And just seeing like from this one person how much it like came in contact, including other people and their faces, like it just, it's so easy for stuff to spread. Yeah. Nope. No, thank you.
Gross. Well, this kind of circles me back. There was one other story that I found that was also kind of interesting and slightly funny. So this article was published February 7th, 2026.
Okay.
I don't necessarily know when this actual flight was supposed to take off, but it was a JetBlue flight supposed to go from Philadelphia to Boston. The actual flight number was 260. And it was scheduled to depart the Philadelphia International Airport at like 8:40 a.m. Staff, I think it sounds like basically everyone boarded the plane and then we're sitting on there, and then they were told there was a mechanical issue with the bathrooms and that they had to deplane. But I think from what I read, it sounds like they were on the plane, like waiting to depart for at least an hour. And then they got off after they were like, okay, sorry, there's like a mechanical issue with these toilets, like you're gonna have to get off. So then they get off and they're waiting at the gate and they're like, okay, it's gonna be like 15 to 20 minutes. And then they'd be like, it's gonna be another 15 to 20 minutes. And then it's gonna be another 15 to 20 minutes. And we were like, what the fuck is going on? Like, I don't understand what is happening. Like, they can't fix these toilets. Like, just be real with us. Then they finally came over and basically said they told the truth. And they were like, they told us the reason is that there's feces in the toilet and the toilet is broken and none of the staff are willing to remove it from the toilet. So you can't flush it. And they're like, well, we can't have a plane full of people flying from Philadelphia to Boston with like poop-filled toilets, like, and toilets that don't work. Like, it's just, you can't do it.
Yeah.
And I guess like people were just getting so frustrated that they just wanted to go, that a guy actually offered to do it himself. He's like, I will go on this plane and remove the poop if you just let me get on this freaking plane.
Wow.
So they said, no, obviously they're like, no, we can't let you do that. Like, that's fucking terrible. But it's funny to me that like this poop cruise happened and they go above and beyond to like figure all this out, and they're, handing out biohazard bags, and staff are collecting these biohazard bags. And like, I mean, I know it's a little bit different because at least here they have like, people can still get off the plane, but it's just funny. They're like, hell no. Like, I feel like I wouldn't either. Like, I'm sorry, that's outside of my job description. Like, no way. There's got to be, I mean, someone's got to do it. So I feel for the people who do.
But yeah, if it's not in your job description, they're like, yeah, you can't make me do that. There's no way I'm the one you're going to get to do this. Like, nope.
But even like for the people, I'm like so thankful for the people that do, because there's got to be like a biohazard crew that comes out and deals with that stuff. And that's not a pretty job. It's like that what's his name? Micro or something like that. The guy who does dirty jobs.
Yes. Yeah.
Mike, I don't know what his name is, but that show Dirty Jobs, he's always dealing with like poop and other kinds of things, mostly animal poop, but
right.
So gross.
And again, we did talk about this with the ship engineers episode. Like nope, you can't pay me any amount of money to do that kind of job, and I know it needs to be done. And if it was an animal poop job, I'm fine with it. And I don't know what the difference is, but it is a distinct difference. And as much as I will talk about poop and be happy to discuss what my pooping schedule is, I'm not planning on sticking my hand. I mean, nope. I just, if I don't have to, I'm not going to.
Yeah, I get it. But basically, they kept pushing this flight back for in half-hour increments, and then finally they canceled it, and that was around 2 p.m. So it was supposed to fly out at 8:40 in the morning. They kept pushing it back, kept pushing it back, kept pushing it back, and then at 2 o'clock they're like, "Okay, fuck it, we're canceling this flight."
Yeah.
But yeah, it was crazy, and of course, JetBlue wouldn't immediately respond for comment. Gross. There was also one other story I found that's like it's super quick, and I was like, this is crazy. Like I'm like, what is with people? So it's what they're calling a party pooper. Her name is Heather Carpenter. This happened on December 1st, 2026. Guess where she's from? It's gonna be a poop incident. It's gonna be crazy. I want you to throw out there where you think this person is from and where this
Florida.
incident happened.
Has to be
Yep.
Florida. Yep.
Sarasota County, Florida, in Urfer Family Park. So she's a substitute teacher,
Mm-hmm.
and apparently she had some like beef with a principal or assistant principal. Yeah, it was the principal. Okay, so basically they both worked at this school, Philippi Shores Elementary School. And for whatever reason, she had a little beef with this principal. They were supposed to go to a birthday party, her included, and her child, along with the principal and their child. And they didn't give a lot of information. So I don't know whose birthday party it was, like if the principal was hosting the birthday party or if it was someone else entirely. But she was so annoyed that she went early Saturday morning, with feces and urine, like in a cup, and was smearing it all over like the park benches and tables. And some guy that was there was like, he saw her and was like, oh, it looked like she was like wiping down the tables. And he's like, she was, it just wasn't to clean them. So he walked up closer and he's like, you could instantly smell it. Like it just smelled like poop and urine and it was disgusting. And he's like, I don't know what the hell is up with this chick.
Like, was she on something? Was she not on something she should have been on?
I don't know, but her mugshot doesn't look great, I'll tell you. It cost the county $2,300 to replace the picnic tables. Like they had to just scrap them all. They're like, we're not even going to attempt to clean this. They're going to get incinerated.
Oh, so this was more, I missed that detail. This was more than one picnic table.
Yeah, it was like all of them. It was like the whole area. And apparently she did it to like fuck with the principal that she was like unhappy with. And her own kid was supposed to go to this birthday party. Like, what are you thinking? Like, kids are involved. Do you know what I mean? Like, what are these people thinking? Like, it's so petty. And the fact that you like made it through all your interviews and are like a freaking substitute teacher, like what? I don't
if you're gonna do it, you do the principal's desk. Don't do the public park.
Seriously, be smarter. Be smarter.
Be more strategic with who and how you choose to smear shit. Let's not get everyone involved.
Yeah, in an act of revenge, Florida teacher smears feces at park to ruin girl's birthday. Like what? That's like now you've ruined a little girl's birthday.
You're taking it out on the child.
Yeah. That's so fucked up. I mean, it's fucked up to do this anyways, but it's so fucked up to just like.
I missed the detail. Was the little girl the daughter of the principal? Is that why?
I didn't know. It doesn't say. Okay. That's what I was saying. I didn't use this as my main story because it didn't. I couldn't find enough details to like really get into it. It just says the park is where the school's. Oh, okay. School's principal was supposed to host a birthday party.
Okay, so it was.
So I'm assuming
targeted
that
at
it was the principal's daughter. Yes. Okay. But it's like, yeah, you're fucking with a little girl's birthday. Like, who does that?
And also just a park. Like, everyone who is not part of this problem has to deal with your issues. Like, if you're gonna smear shit to get back at someone, keep it focused on that person. Put it
on their car. Yes! Like, I don't know. Yeah.
The hood of their car or something. The principal's desk, not the public park.
I'm assuming that if it happened in the actual like school, like maybe in this way, she's like, ooh, maybe if I do it here, like I'll get away with it. Like they won't know it's me. I don't really know, but it's like, oh, if it happens at school, it'll probably figure out that it's me. Like, I don't know. Maybe she's like, if I did it at school, there's going to be like backlash for me. But it's like, obviously they're going to find out it's you. She's 42 and she ended up getting charged with damaging property and criminal mischief.
Criminal mischief. It's funny because that word just sounds so much more delightful than it probably is. Like I want a t-shirt with a raccoon that just says criminal mischief.
That's actually a great one. But this is here, there's like a Fox News report. So let me share my screen one more time for you.
Caught in the act, a substitute teacher in Sarasota County is accused of trying to get a disgusting form of revenge. The woman was arrested for smearing feces at a local park. As Fox 13's Catherine Holly reports, the vulgar vandalism caused more than $2,000 in damage.
All 8 of these picnic tables here at Urfer Family Park had to be replaced after a woman spread human waste and fecal matter all over the wood as a form of payback.
When I realized what she did, I was shocked and appalled.
Mike Hutchinson was at the park before the sun came up December 1st and says he saw the foul crime being committed.
It looked like she was wiping down the tables, who she was, but it looked like, I don't know if she was staining the tables or putting some protectant down.
He says the woman was wearing a surgical mask and blue rubber gloves and took off as soon as she realized she was caught.
And when I walked back over here to see what was going on, the smell hit me. And I noticed that she did it to every table, wiped it on every table. It was on the ground. It was a mixture of urine and feces. And she had it in a big cup and just was pouring it out and wiping it in.
The nasty vandalism cost the county more than $2,300.
Okay, so at least it does sound like she was very much focused and in her right mind because she had the protective equipment on and she came
and not trying,
cup,
like she was trying not to get caught, obviously.
Yeah.
Expect someone saw her and she took off. It's like, yeah, but
my first assumption is like she cracked and she's just doing it with her hands, but like no, she's wearing gloves, she's wearing the mask, and the fact that she had like this cup and eight picnic tables. So how long was she planning to do this?
Poop?
Yeah.
How long were you collecting poop? That's what I want to know.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's a lot of poop.
If it's hers, if it's her dog's,
it'll go further, but it's still not great.
Yeah, this was very premeditated. She thought a lot about this. Wow,
yeah,
that's a great one.
Yeah. So like I said, it wasn't as like in depth, but I'm like, I don't even know.
I'm going to go specifically to one of the articles I pulled. For very similar context is a public pooper. So this woman is being called the Delco Pooper. This article was in December, most recent December 2025. She was videotaped pooping on a car at an intersection in April. And
please tell me you have a video.
It was a road rage incident. She like lost her mind on the other car and jumped on it.
Of all the things, like, you know what I mean? Like your brain, if you get super mad, it's like, I'm going to punch this person's window or like do something like that. It's like, no, I'm going to jump on their hood and just take a fat shit.
Yeah. So she was dubbed the Delco Pooper. She went viral for defecating on a car during a road rage incident in Delaware County on April 2025. She has been forced to take part in a rehabilitative program by the courts. She was put on 24 months probation and an anger management regimen. She was also ordered not to engage with social media and stuff. But the article is very small, but it just like, yeah, the fact that there was enough time and that she had one loaded in the barrel ready to drop, like the fact that like I struggle with pooping so much and pooping when I think I need to. The fact that people can just like get out and like consciously poop and like make it happen, I find very impressive.
I mean, it's crazy. Like if I'm not like, even I tried to, do we talk about my aqua dump or my attempt to aqua dump and the fact that I couldn't, it just like clammed up. Like the fact that she could just go like
in the mid, not even you're in the water, you're hidden, but she's out in the middle of this intersection.
Yeah.
I was like,
I mean, that look, she looks, I'm just looking at what you have pulled up right now. She actually
is, she's smirking.
Like satanic.
Yeah. She knew what she was doing. She doesn't even care. She's happy she did it.
She looks possessed.
Let's see.
Now to this, a bizarre and nasty road rage incident caught on camera is also catching the eyes of police and social media users.
A Delaware County woman is facing multiple charges after she is seen defecating on a car hood. This was all after an apparent dispute with the driver. NBC 10's Lily Zhang was in Prospect Park as the suspect was taken into custody.
The police chief for Prospect Park says he has seen some road rage cases during his career. Somebody cuts someone off, then the drivers might get into a heated exchange, then they typically drive away. But in this case on Tuesday, there was a little more to that, and the incident was captured on video by a bystander.
That video, shared thousands of times on Instagram, shows a woman identified Thursday as Christina Salameto walking to another woman's car. The 44-year-old sits on the hood, or not showing the most graphic parts of the video, including when she appeared to defecate on the car.
I know it's being joked about a lot. I know there's all kinds of puns, innuendo, and humor online about this, but the bottom line is we are treating it seriously. No, it can't happen in this community. No town wants this to happen in their town.
Prospect Park Police Chief David Madonna says it happened by 4th and Madison. Like most people in this neighborhood, police say they too found out about the incident through social media.
I didn't think it was real at first.
We thought it was fake news.
It was hilarious in the same sense. Like, to be able to poop on a car like that was impressive, but it was disgusting at the same sense.
Crazy. She had to go.
Christina, do you have a comment?
Salameto was brought to the Prospect Park Police Department Thursday in handcuffs, offering no remarks. She faces a number of charges, including indecent exposure and depositing waste on a highway.
The recognition a town gets over this kind of thing, it's really unwelcome. We don't want this.
Depositing waste on a highway. Oh my God, that's so funny. Can we also talk about how all news reporters talk the same?
I was thinking that I think you actually have to train, like you train for it. Like that is a skill.
It almost makes me hard to watch. It's hard to watch for me because I find it comical. I'm like, you guys sound and look ridiculous. You all talk the same exact way, and they have like these weird pauses and inflections in their voice. It just sounds funny.
So this woman, and you can see too in the video, she's like, she already knew this is what she planned to do when she gets out of the car, because she's already like trying to pull off her shorts as she's walking to the car behind her. It doesn't look like it's that high on the car. So I think she just like squatted against it. Oh, here we go. Oh, it was a wet one.
Oh my God, it was a wet. She just like exploded.
That was a wet one. Oh my God, she sprayed that car.
Oh my God, that was crazy.
Oh my God.
That's crazy.
The utter confidence. Maybe she was already having some issues and was like, I know where I'm going to spend this now.
Well, now I know how poop ends up on the wall behind toilets. That's wild.
Yeah, so for listeners, we found the video. She does just like walk right up to this car, pulls her pants down, and just sprays the front of this car, and then just confidently pulls her shorts back up and sassily walks back to her car and drives away. That is
okay.
The ultimate road rage. I can only imagine what the driver in the car receiving this must have been thinking. That's
crazy.
So that was the article and the news video we watched was NBC 10 News. But this reminds me, so our last episode, we talked about the party pooping rules and how there's like this kind of expectation for parties that you should hold your poop if it's going to take too long, that it takes you away from the party. I experienced not the party, but like I was driving and I had to hold the poop. It was like early in the morning. It was post coffee. So it was like I had a bad poop that needed to happen. And it was one of those ones where I knew I was going to be sitting for a while, but I was driving. So I had to get to the next gas station. It was like 7 minutes away, but that was the longest 7 minutes of my life. And I can confirm that I was in excruciating pain trying not to shit my pants in my car. So if you go listen to the last episode and you hear those rules, I would love to hear your opinions on this. But yeah, no, don't make people hold their poop. But maybe don't just expel it onto someone's hood of their car.
That's so funny. Okay, well, on that note.
Yeah, so then my next story is less about poop and more about the butt. I'm sure you're probably familiar with the fact that some people will put things in their butt because they're trying to achieve a certain experience. And there's a lot of stories of them ending up in hospitals because they put things up there that should not go up there. If you are someone trying to get the big O from putting something in your butt, there are things designed for it. Please use the things designed for it. Don't use random things like this person did. This person, I'm on the New York Post. This was in February of this year. A hospital was evacuated because a 24-year-old patient came in with a World War I artillery in their butt.
No.
Yes.
Was it like for help? Did they need it removed, or was it like
it was for help?
I'm threatening the hospital.
Oh, that's actually a great question.
And it just happened to be in a very weird way. Like they're mentally disturbed and they shoved it up there and then we're like, fuck this hospital. Like, or was it like, oh no, I don't know what I was thinking at home. I shoved this up my butt and now it's stuck and I need help getting it out.
They didn't actually specify that. And I was always assuming the latter, but you know, maybe. I don't think it was a threat. I feel like they would have identified it more in the article.
You know, that was kind of an episode of Grey's Anatomy.
Someone was shot with
butt.
Yeah.
It was, yeah, he was accidentally shot with it, but it wasn't up his butt or whatever, but it was like
Yeah.
ended up being like a live round of ammunition.
Yeah. So the person, again, this is a very short article. Kudos to the writer because it is very witty. But yeah, so the headline is Hospital Evacuated After 8-inch World War I Artillery Shell is Discovered in Patient's Butt. They write that he had some explosive indigestion. This was in France. And according to the Bumshell report, the unnamed 24-year-old was rushed to this specific emergency room in a state of extreme discomfort, having inserted a large object up his rectum. So I'm assuming he needed help. I don't think this was a threat. It sounds like he didn't think this all the way through. So they had to evacuate the hospital. They do have
I love that they picked one that's like been outside and like covered in stuff to make it look like it's covered in poop. That's
they do say this image that we're looking at is similar, but is not the one that the guy pulled out.
That's crazy. That's so big.
Yeah. But yeah, they had to
How do you even get it in there?
I mean, lube. They got really
like, what's
good
the
lube.
diameter of that bad boy? Jeez Louise.
So they did have to do surgery to get it removed. And they make it sound like he wasn't fully forthcoming with why he was in pain, just that he was in pain.
Which is crazy to me.
Yeah.
You're at this point, you're at the hospital. They're gonna find it. You might as well just tell them it's in there.
I have a few friends who are in the medical profession, and apparently, yeah, things in butts is way more common than you would ever want it to be in a hospital.
I believe it.
Maybe we should do that as its own episode. It's just like a whole collection of things found in butts.
It's actually a great idea, but there's a whole like Instagram, I don't know what it's called, not fad, but like, what do you call when
trend?
Something trend, yeah, where people go to like stores and they show you like pointy objects and they're like,
yes,
not good for A, B, and C. Have you seen
there
those?
is specifically, what's his name? There's a first responder. I think he's a firefighter or he's an EMT, and like there'll be a video of like something with either a hole or it is something protruding, and it's clear that like this is the intention of the first video, and then you just cuts to his face and he's very serious and he's just like,
yeah,
just shakes his head. Yeah. It's like, don't do it. Don't do it. Sometimes he'll do like an exasperated breath before he shakes his head, like, because he's the one who's going to be responding to that call. And he's like, this is not the day I want to have. This is not the day you want to have. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't even think about doing it.
That's so funny.
So it was just over an inch wide. So if that gives you, it wasn't actually that thick.
Yeah, I was going to say that's it. Made it look way bigger in that photo.
And an inch wide, 8 inches long. It was an unfired ammunition. So people, especially thinking obviously in Europe, it's common to collect these things in war memorabilia. But things can get super unstable the older and older they get, especially if you find things that have not been discharged yet. So yeah, having one in general is very dangerous. And now doing that with it is a whole new level of danger. But fun fact, this is not the first time this hospital had to deal with this situation. In 2022, I guess not this hospital, but the area, in 2022, another hospital evacuated after an 88-year-old arrived with a World War I artillery shell similarly lodged in his anus.
Oh my God.
I mean, they do seem, if they're not grody and corroded and rusty, they do seem to be a very ideal shape.
I mean, it's very easy to access things for that purpose via the internet. You can go to stores, they're everywhere. Like, you just buy something that is purposely made for that use.
And everyone needs to know the butt keeps going. It doesn't have a place where it stops and would prevent something from getting further into your body. It will just keep going. So things get stuck. That's why you got to buy something so that it won't go all the way in and you can retrieve it yourself. You don't want to be this person.
Yes, you're talking like you have experience with these devices.
I don't personally, but I have seen them. And there are reasons, because I've heard these stories and so many things that people remote controls and vegetables and who knows what else. Just don't do it. Don't do it.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
I'm sure they're not that expensive. Spend the money. Go get that instead. So that was that article.
That's wild.
The fact that the exact same situation happened a few years prior, like not even like, oh, another situation, like no, also a World War I artillery shell also shoved up someone's butt.
That's so funny. All right. Well, I feel like we have hit a good amount of stories for today. It went really well. I think I wasn't expecting us to have that much like on deck. That was great.
On the poop deck.
On the poop deck.
But yeah, I definitely have other articles, and if anyone out there encounters a news article that they think we should share on the podcast, even if they're short, please do. We would love to read them and share them with you all. You can email them to us on situationspodcast@gmail.com, or you can use our comment form on our website, situationpodcast.com. This was a very good idea, Kristen. It was very fun.
That was great. Well, I like your idea. I think we should do an episode now of like things lodged in butts.
Yes. Yep.
That's a great idea. All right, everybody. Well, thanks for joining us. And until next time, have a great day.
Catch y'all later.